Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing something different. I'm going to be making a video talking about these PvZ retrospective videos and my thoughts on them. Because there's a lot of these videos that just pop up. Especially the Beak's video, which is made I think 2 weeks ago as of speaking or something. And a majority of them is basically just full of misinformation and just lack of research. Real quick, I got this idea from HeyMJ as well as a bunch of other creators I'm putting on screen. But yeah, so basically these videos are just full of misinformation, and they could be summed up as very biased when it comes to the newer games after PvZ 2. The first PvZ game, and also EA Bad PopCap Good. So as for this EA Bad PopCap Good argument, it can easily be dismantled as EA is just the publisher. Yeah, that's right, crazy. PopCap is still developing the games. They were the ones who decided to add those microtransactions into the game. They were the ones that decided to lock plants behind a paywall. Some of the OG plants behind a paywall. Here's an excerpt from a video called The Oral History of PopCap, which is also an excerpt from HeyMJ's video.
PvZ 2 came out and it's a tablet mobile thing first, and they're like, well, look at what EA did. I'm like, I think the most misconception is that EA forced any of that on us. That was most of those choices, if anything, were all internal choices that were chosen long before we ever got bought out.
Well, you heard that right. A bunch of these choices were not enforced by EA, but were made by PopCap. Although, as for EA, I do believe that they are a worse company than PopCap. They're really greedy. But as for these games, they just publish them. PopCap does the developing of these games. So basically what I'm saying is EA bad, PopCap bad. End of story. Real quick though, before I dive into the Beak's video, is that I've only really played the first two tower defense games, Plants vs. Zombies 1 and 2. I've never really played the Garden Warfare games, nor Battle for Neighborville, nor Heroes. I personally think the first two tower defense games are good. You can agree, you can disagree, I'm fine with that, but also I'm not that one person who defends Plants vs. Zombies 2 from any form of criticism, nor am I that one person who shits on the game for no reason, because EA bad, PopCap good, and microtransactions. And I know most people watching might just take me for some drama queen who's just trying to stir up drama with other creators, or some attention-hungry cloud chaser who's just starting beef with other creators. But personally, I don't care. I just want to get my thoughts out of my head for once. Also, when talking about the Beak's video, I will be skipping through when he talks about Plants vs. Zombies 2, because the first part is basically him just complimenting the first game. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's just jump into the video.
Nuclear bombs.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Alright, we're already off to a bad start. He's already shitting on the game before diving in.
It's 2013, there I was. I had just got done playing some Plants vs. Zombies and, what's this? One of my favorite mobile games is getting a sequel? Oh my god.
Alright, let me be straightforward with you. It is not a mobile game. It was first released on PC. It has a mobile port, but it's not a mobile game. It's a PC game.
In Plants vs. Zombies 2, they changed two of my favorite things about Plants vs. Zombies 1. First off, they changed the art style and the way everything looks in Plants vs. Zombies 2. I really don't like this new art style at all. Everything just looks so... I don't even know how to describe it, mate. It looks so, meh compared to the first game. That, and I also just much prefer the way the plants look in the first game as opposed to the second game.
Oh my god, he's already going for the art style of the game. Okay, I don't mind the art style of PvZ 2. Hell, I would even argue that PvZ 2's art style looks better than PvZ 1's art style. Take a look at Starfruit, take a look at Tanglekelp. Although I do agree that Gravebuster in PvZ 1 looks better than in PvZ 2. But just because it's a different art style, it doesn't change the design completely of each plant and zombie. I mean, the brown coats, they still retain their original design.
Secondly, they changed the music in Plants vs. Zombies 2. Oh my god, this music is,
Are you having a stroke, my guy? Because I think you want to get that checked out. I mean, what do you expect them to do? Just recycle and reuse the music from the previous game? Of fucking course not!
So let's compare this music from the first game to what happens in the second game.
You compared Loon Boon, a fast-paced track, to Ancient Egypt, which is a more slow-paced and calming track. Dude, you're not just limited to Ancient Egypt's soundtracks. Check out Pirate Seas, check out Wild West, check out Far Future, check out Dark Ages, check out Big Wave Beach, check out Frostbite Caves, check out Lost City, check out Neon Mixtape Tour, check out Jurassic Marsh, check out Modern Day. Hey hero, didn't you just name all the worlds? Of fucking course I did! And I think this comment on a Reddit post about your video basically explains it better than me. Bro really just slandered PvZ2's soundtrack like, Peter McConnell is an amazing composer and did an outstanding job of setting the mood of the world. Big Wave Beach feels like you're on a beach in the 60s. Neon Mixtape Tour has so many differing genres because it's in the 80s. Lost City's music has a filter put over it to make it sound like the music is coming from a radio. Goofy ass motherfucker. Also, he called Ancient Egypt music bad. It was composed by Laura Shikihara, who made the PvZ1 soundtrack. This video has so many misinformation. Also, Beak, you said this.
I understand, if your levels are all set in different places throughout history, you're gonna want music that complements these settings, and for the most part, Plants vs. Zombies 2, it does this pretty well. When I'm in Egypt, this music makes me feel like I'm in Egypt.
But you also said,
Oh my god, this music is,
You at first say that the music is bad, but then you say that the music is good. Dude, make up your fucking mind! And yes, the music in this game are absolute bangers. Here, have some samples. Those are just some examples. Also, a majority of the tracks were composed by Peter McConnell. But did you know, as mentioned before, Ancient Egypt's tracks were composed by Laura Shigihara? Also, she composed an unused Pirate Seas track, which is playing in the background, before she left PopCap. I would also think that it would be more fair if you compared the Front Yard track in the tutorial, as well as Modern Day's First Wave and Midwave A track with Grass Walk, as well as Modern Day's Midwave B soundtrack with Graze the Roof, as well as the removed Ultimate Battle tracks with Ultimate Battle, as well as Demonstration Minigame with Brainiac Maniac.
But there is one massive problem with Plants vs. Zombies 2, and it's all thanks to 2 letters. As we all know, EA, very, very greedy. If you can think of a way for EA to make money on something, don't worry, mate, they've already done it. When PopCap Games was bought by EA all the way back in 2011, I think it's an alarm bells ringing in everybody's minds. Plants vs. Zombies 2, it's littered with microtransactions and adverts and all of that type of stuff. Earn gems, earn coins.
Again, with this EA Bad PopCap Good thing, EA just publishes the game. PopCap does the developing. They're the ones that decide to lock plants behind paywalls. They were the ones that added those microtransactions. Let me tell you something, Beak, that'll absolutely blow your mind. Did you know that you do not need to pay $7 for a plant just to beat one level in Big Wave Beach or modern day? Yeah. Want proof? Here's a new profile that I made before PopCap made it so you cannot create a new profile. Yeah, I did not have to spend a single buck on a plant. And as for the premium plants that I have, I only have to spend gems to obtain those plants.
This is a certified hood classic.
Plants vs. Zombies Heroes is a Hearthstone type of card game that, well, this game just doesn't exist. Apparently, this game was released on the 18th of October 2016, meaning that it was apparently released before Battle for Neighborville. But look around you, mate. I mean, do you know anybody who's ever played Plants vs. Zombies Heroes? Exactly. No one's ever played this game before.
And nobody plays SCP Secret Laboratory because I didn't know this game existed until now. Like I mentioned before, I've never played Heroes, but I just wanted to use this segment just to apply his logic to other games. So for the rest of the video, he basically just goes on to explain how the games died. And you know, it's more EA Bad PopCap Good. But let me check out the comments section for this video to see if anyone agrees with him. Okay, I'm actually kind of excited to actually read some of the comments of this video. Another person stuck in a nostalgia bubble for the first game. Judging by the video, you only played Ancient Egypt and probably didn't even make it halfway. So tell me, why are you calling the entire soundtrack bad if you only played one world? How is that fair? Also, fun fact, that's the only world theme composed by the original Plants vs. Zombies composer. PvZ Heroes is a good game and still has a lot of fans. Did you even try to look up this game on YouTube, or did you just want to make it seem like nobody has ever played it to make the franchise look worse? I won't even talk about the EA Bad PopCap Good. That's all. It's useless in that video. Get your head out of your bubble, man. Yeah, exactly. Beak. Oh, there's GNVS. Yet another nostalgia cloud and misinformation bloated, reinforcing the false belief that EA destroyed the franchise. They literally saved PopCap from dying by purchasing the money. The company, which spawned the sequel, the Shooters and Heroes. Yes, there is a Heroes player base out there. Also, it's common knowledge at this point the addition of microtransactions to PvZ2 was all on PopCap, not EA. Besides, it is a literal free-to-play game, so the company has got to make money somehow. That's true. It's unbelievable that there are so many grown adults out there who don't understand how business works. If you did some research into the composers, you'll find out that Laura Shigehara left PopCap shortly after PvZ2 came out. So it's more than understandable that the music changed quite a bit in PvZ2. And even then, if you actually take some time to listen to the tracks, a lot of them have elements of the PvZ1 tracks. The different songs for each world was the perfect choice to fit the world's themes. Plus, the Ultimate Battle and Demonstration minigame themes, which are no longer present unfortunately, are also remixed in each world to reflect the themes. Again, Ultimate Battle's is based on Ultimate Battle, Demonstration minigame is based on Brainiac Maniac. Not gonna disagree with anything you said about Battle for Neighborville or PvZ3, and I'll cut you some slack on how you didn't find PvZ2 enjoyable when replaying it recently, since the game is far in a good state right now. It's true, and the Ultimate Battle Demonstration minigames were removed, so I can't blame you for finding the music and fast-paced levels boring. But outside these points, this video is littered with inaccuracies. But at least make your clips with PvZ2 rather than giving them the game false impression that it looks like shit, just to go along with your criticism about its art style. Yeah, the music in Plants vs. Zombies 2 deserves much more credit and recognition. Slandering it was completely unnecessary. Exactly! By the way, this guy makes great music. Go check out this guy. Me, when I make a franchise retrospective video on a franchise I barely played past the first game. Of course! Friendly reminder that Big Wave Beach can be beaten by placing your non-premium attacking plants at the back and sunflowers at the front, instead of using your premium plants at the front and sunflowers at the back. Alright. I never actually thought of that. Thanks, random commenter. Bro, I think PvZ2 has both better art style and music than the first game. I think PvZ2 really evolved from the first in every aspect. True? Especially gameplay, and you could see how the gameplay just expands on the original PvZ formula when giving through all different eras of time people have a good experience while playing it, not just changing things for the sake of changing like PvZ3 did. Of course, in the end, Beak literally just slandered an entire franchise, and that's all I have to say to this part. Now on to the next part. Real quick, I know this is a video about where I give my thoughts on retrospective videos on PvZ, which is full of misinformation. But I also want to talk about George Fan, the creator of Plants vs. Zombies. And many people said that he was fired. And that's not true. He was simply laid off. So here's the difference between getting laid off and getting fired. The difference between being laid off and being fired is that if you are fired, the company considers that your actions have caused termination. If you were laid off, you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. That's just a little something that I wanted to add. Not only was this proven wrong by an article that I'm about to show, but it was also proven wrong by George Fan himself. Crazy, am I right? But after creating Plants vs. Zombies, its creator stepped back. He chose not to create the sequel of the game. Rather, Fan decided he wanted to continue working on independent titles. Fan left EA because he didn't believe in making free-to-play games with microtransactions. He believed in making indie titles like the Sanaquarium game he made before tackling PvZ. Yes, as mentioned, after making Plants vs. Zombies, George Fan simply moved on from the game, and he also simply declined when asked if he wanted to work on the sequel. And yes, he did not really believe in making free games with microtransactions. But again, he was laid off, not fired. So for this last part, I want to show you this tweet by someone called LT Beast, the official LT Beast. And this guy does agree with the Beak's video, but he isn't an EA Bad PopCap Good person. He's just someone who hates the PvZ community. And this tweet absolutely made me mad and might make you mad. So here's this Reddit post, and I'll warn you, this is probably one of the most garbage take ever. And this person probably failed the first level in PvZ. And he had the nerve to type all this shit out on his computer. So it reads, "This game is in fact very dead. Just because there's a little bit of clingy superfans that shouldn't exist, doesn't mean it's still relevant. Shit, maybe I shouldn't exist. The Beak is right. Grow up, PvZ fans. Your community sucks. It's full of pedophiles." Bro got us confused with the Genshin Impact community and toxic tryhards for some fucking reason. And I read that and I was confused. Like, when I got to this part, what is this dude talking about? Like, pedophiles? That can apply to literally any game community. Oh my god. I'm gonna say 4 communities that are known, that might be known for having pedophiles. Friday Night Funkin', Geometry Dash, Minecraft, Genshin Impact. But no, you turn your gaze towards Plants vs. Zombies because fuck them, am I right? And toxic tryhards, okay, I get Garden Warfare 1 and 2 and Battle for Neighborville, but it's a tower defense game, you dumbass. Like, no one could be this fucking dumb. How the hell are there tryhards when it comes to a tower defense game? And pedophiles, I do know that there's some pedophiles in the community, but you don't even say who. You literally just say it's full of pedophiles. That's it. This might be the most L take I've ever seen. Yeah, exactly. Who would unironically post this? Oh wow, it's the official LT Beast. Who the fuck is LT Beast? He's put content creator on his location, so you can tell this guy's a pretentious prick. Exactly. Judging by this tweet, he does seem like a pretentious prick. Bro couldn't get past Big Wave Beach, so he decided to go all out. More like the first level. Least insane Twitter user. Also I checked his YouTube. The fuck, he hates Plants PvZ fandom while hating on female YouTubers and supporting Antunes. I don't know what that is. I can't. This fucking dick literally just had to say the most brain dead and shittiest thing on Twitter. And this is one of the reasons I decided to create a Twitter account, just to clown on this bozo. And oh boy, I can't wait for him to respond to this video. To be honest though, I do not know where he came up with those accusations. It's like he just pulled it out of his ass. Also, again, I genuinely do like the first 2 tower defense games. You know, despite the second game not being in a very good state, gameplay is still good, despite all the weird shit that PopCap's doing. Yes, I do agree that Battle for Neighborville and Plants vs. Zombies 3 are not in the best state. And as I mentioned before, people might take me as a clout chaser, people might take me as a drama queen, but I don't care. I just want to get my thoughts out of my head for this topic for once. It's just that these videos are just full of lack of research. EA Bad PopCap Good, and they're just going by rumors that have already been debunked. And these people who talk about these games, they probably haven't even played them. And the only time they install Plants vs. Zombies 2 is to go onto the store, take a screenshot of the many microtransactions that there are, and then leave. Again, when it comes to free games, a company has to make money out of it somehow. I'm not defending microtransactions, but that's how business works. I would also like to mention that no, Plants vs. Zombies is not dead. PopCap is still working on Plants vs. Zombies 3, as well as they're still updating Plants vs. Zombies 2, again, even though they're doing some weird shit with those games, and the community is still active and supporting the games. The only thing that would make the games dead is that if there isn't a fan base anymore, or if EA or PopCap shuts down the games. Thanks for watching this video. I know this isn't a video I'd usually make, but I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Hola, rusos de mierda, todos hijos de su pinche